This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
Let's talk body shaming.
Ooh, that's a quick jump right there.
Body shaming, bro. I feel like it's right. I mean, because social media is heavy, right? And we know that's the place where people can go and say whatever they feel like saying.
Yeah.
And almost have no repercussions for their things.
Yeah.
Unless it's something racist, right? But as far as like you saying what you feel like saying about somebody and how they look and all those things, man, it's a you know what I'm saying? It's a free for all.
Let me go ahead and ask both of y'all a question. I know when you think body shaming, a lot of people think about women. As men, have you ever felt shamed or anything about body shaming towards you?
I think it. You want to?
No, you can go.
I think it definitely happens to men. More than people think.
Yeah.
I think, and some people can see it as preference, but it can definitely come off heavier. You know what I'm saying? It turns into a bigger thing, because it can be, hey, you don't got these dreads,
yeah,
and you don't think about it like that per se, but then if you ain't big and stacked, like you ought to be in the gym, you ought to be big and have a 6-pack in. Like, man, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like we joked about something with the homie, talking about the leg situation, right? So that could turn into something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
stop shaking.
And we don't necessarily think about it in that way, but I think men experience it. I don't want to say just as much because I can't speak from a woman's perspective. Yeah, but I definitely think I think it happens on both sides.
If somebody said you were fat, how would you internally feel? Not necessarily how you respond, but how would you internally feel?
I'm okay with that.
You cool?
Yeah.
You?
Hell no.
All right.
Why would I be okay with that? I mean, I'm not gonna jump off a bridge. I don't think it'll necessarily hurt my feelings, but it's like, all right, cool. I'm working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's more motivation than anything because I'm actually in the process of doing something about it.
I think that's how I would respond because I actually had a friend. We were trying to both get back in the 6-pack form, and we would meet up every Tuesday night on Zoom and take a FaceTime and we would do abs, 300 abs.
Yeah.
And one day, my man, I took my shirt off. I'm like, I'm getting it. He like, damn, bro, you kind of fat. I was like, had to breathe through it because I'm like,
but Wallace, you do that to me all the time.
Right. But see, that's me pushing it that way. It's different. It's always different when it comes this way.
Yeah.
And that's why they say, if you could dish it, you got to be able to take it. And when he said it, I was able to take it, but I was like, damn, I actually kind of felt that. And it just made me, like you said, work harder.
Yeah.
Think about my diet a little bit more. But everybody doesn't take it that same way.
Absolutely.
And that's why I wanted to ask you, like, how do you take it? Because being called fat, it does something to me. It made me like, oh, hold on now.
Because
it's kind of like my ugly.
Already kind of feel like
this is kind of like my ugly, I guess.
Yeah. You already kind of.
You don't care because it depends on what the women say.
No. So it doesn't bother me because I know my body. You know what I'm saying? So I know I could literally take my shirt off, and today you be like, man, yo, fat ass. And then tomorrow, if I didn't eat the muffin that I ate before I got here, I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one muffin and a couple of fucking Red Bulls.
That's your go-to.
Right.
But one day y'all gonna sponsor us.
You're gonna have to. But anyway,
straight face.
But I know. But yeah, like it's because I know my body, right? So I know, and literally in 2-3 weeks, I could be in a whole different form. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it doesn't bother me as I ain't gonna say as much. It just doesn't bother me. This is my moment to be Brandon, right? Where my was like, no, for real. No, I'm saying.
You know how I took that?
What?
I took that as your moment to be Brandon, as your moment to be kind of a little saturated.
No. So it's my moment. It's my moment, like Brandon, in a sense of like when we were talking to him, and I was like, we were talking about the whole ugly thing, or insecurities, right? And he was like, that shit don't bother me.
Yeah.
Being called fat don't bother me.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm 6'4", 250. That shit can look 10 different
You
ways.
250?
Probably about 260 actually, but I can I can make
might stop
260 look
trying
one
this.
way. I can make 260 look another way.
No,
Yeah,
for sure.
fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
real. And like
We've seen 260 both ways. goddamn.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I can make it look different. How I can make it look however I want it to look. I'll
Right.
say that.
Yeah.
And it takes work,
Yeah.
but in my mind it doesn't take a lot of work because we're used like as athletes, I
I'm
guess
about
you
to
would
say
say.
because we're athletes.
Yeah, because we can
exactly.
get at it and we can turn it on and turn it off, I guess.
So let's flip it to the other side. And then we know how we receive body shaming, but how do you think body shaming for women affects them in today's society?
I think when a man speaks about a woman, it's just you're done, right?
What you mean?
As far as body shaming, preference,
When you say you're done, what do you mean?
you're misogynistic and all those other terms, right?
What about women that speak about?
Exactly, that's what I'm getting to. It's different. They can just do it and it's nothing, right? They can say, "You're fat, you're short, whatever." Get away with it. We don't really have the freedom to say she's fat, short, whatever. You know what I mean?
Do you think that that's because they don't believe we understand their experience? Because a woman might believe that another woman understands getting to a certain space.
I don't know.
Because I can understand getting to a certain space, but working back to as a man.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what it feels like to be a woman and what to go through and what
I
affects your weight and whatever.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
social media we talked about last time. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Social media we talked about last time. How big of a part does that play? Because a lot of the times we promote those women that maybe have had the surgery or maybe their career is fitness. Like
The biggest. Yeah.
So I think a big part of it is
The biggest part.
not
Yeah.
being able to speak to it or knowing as a man, right? And I think because of how social media reacts to men having an opinion on it,
Yeah.
like I think a lot of men just like, nah, like I'm not gonna say anything. I think depending on your circle, depending on how close you are to that particular woman, I think you can speak your opinion. You know what I'm saying? If it's a discussion.
yeah.
Like I think like offering something like that to anybody,
Randomly.
period. Yeah. I think like seeing a picture of someone like, man, you looking a little fat. You pregnant? Like, bro, I think, whoa,
But
you've
that's-
overstepped
that's just
every
for
boundary
women,
out
huh?
here. I think definitely for women.
He step out the truck with a tight shirt on and it folds over. I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but it's also it goes back to the relationship,
Relationship,
because
yeah,
that was
big.
what I started with.
Yeah,
Like
that's
depending
big.
on your relationship with this woman.
right.
So I think because there's a level of comfortability, right, to be able to
Yeah.
speak openly.
Cause somebody
like that.
randomly I don't know that jumps out the truck with a tight shirt. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, or think about a
I
random
wish.
person or a random person saying that to either one of you about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
like,
response easy though.
yeah,
You know what that is.
but you back at their throat though, right? Versus
Honestly,
like your
me-
homeboy saying it.
I guess this goes back to one.
Well,
of
I guess
you
you kind of be at his throat, but not as much.
It ain't gonna be just.
Yeah,
fuck
it's-
you.
yeah, it's not gonna be the
Damn,
same
bro, you hurt my
response.
feelings. That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
Honestly, to me, I probably take what you say, y'all two say, or my friend that was on the iPhone chat more personally than somebody else I don't know. Like if I don't know you, it's the same thing as like we on the field and you talking.
Like
Yeah.
I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
Who are you
But
to my life?
so let's go a little deeper.
That's right.
Like the psychological effects of it, because social media had like it. We seen studies where the likes on social media triggers dopamine in our brains,
Facts,
right?
yeah.
Which is the exact same thing that's released when we take heroin. So it's an addicting
Damn.
feeling. You know what I'm saying?
You went to heroin.
That's what the study said. You know what I mean? So it's a very addictive feeling, and it gives us you good. But it's an addictive feeling, but it's a good feeling. So think about how heavy it is when we see the negative comments and like the draggings and everything, right?
Can I say something real quick? Don't lose your spot. I gotta pee real bad.
Hold it.
I can't. We back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We took a few shots before, and we're here. Sorry.
Still here.
Shouts out to Terramana.
I don't think you can do that.
Sponsorship
God
coming
damn it.
through.
I think
do
the
that?
Rock.
Yeah.
I think the Rock will love us eventually.
Nah, he would.
Yeah.
You know he
You
the
get-
Rock.
you need to make sure you keep-
you know I stay by the Rock, right?
By his house.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all neighbors,
Nah, not
best friends.
But you know,
I
I
like
just
that.
like to tell people that because he live where I live. So
It make you feel better.
they do.
Okay.
I live by the Rock. If y'all
But-
need anything,
We still talking body shaming, right?
Yeah, we talking them psychological.
The Rock
effects,
make you
man.
feel bad about your
like
body.
how is it? Yeah, he can.
Listen, that nigga's a big motherfucker.
Right.
That's what I
He-
said,
that
bro. You
nigga
got to keep going
shred,
so
bro.
he recognize you.
I don't even know if I want to
Game-
do that.
game
That's a lot of clothes you got to purchase. But
Bro, you almost there.
I think the psychological effects, man. We was back to that. So I think seeing those responses on social media can be heavy, man. Like I think getting it in person is more so just getting it from your friends. You know what I'm saying? People who are around you more.
Yeah.
But like posting on social media opens you up to everybody. Because most of those people who are posting like that, or people posting period, like sometimes it ain't always people who are on your friend list. So it ain't even people
Right.
that you know,
That
right?
you know. Yeah.
And it can turn into a whole different situation because now you open yourself up to everybody in the world who has this app on their phone and they can say whatever, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it can get ugly. That can get ugly in a hurry.
It does affect people because I used to be that. I don't want to call myself a bully, but I used to definitely be.
Nah,
that
you
person.
still a bully. We just receive it different now. We grown. You the same person.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely tamed.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that it affects people. I'll leave it at that.
So 2 questions. So what's our responsibility? Because the way that they receive a body shaming normally comes from somebody's words toward them. What's our responsibility when we're communicating with somebody about weight? And like you said, I think if the space opens up for it, that's when the conversation has. But to just come off the top, I don't think it's necessary. And then 2, have you experienced somebody, you know how they say you never know what somebody else is going through? You experience somebody that might be on the larger side having an attitude. Have you ever gone in your head like maybe they've received so much negativity that they're spouting that on you?
I think it depends on who it is, right? In certain instances, I don't give a fuck. Like family, I'm gonna let you know. Like if you're getting big, you need to do something about that.
It doesn't matter person to person? Because family's still individuals.
It don't matter.
All right.
Like if I have a relationship with you, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, how about this? Is your delivery different to each person?
I'm working on that. And you know that. Like I'm working on that.
Yeah.
And I know it has to be because when you're talking to your spouse or something and she may be getting you working out, she's not.
Yeah.
You may, you'll come at that a little different. You know what I mean? Just because you don't want to hurt her feelings or whatever, but you still have to let it be known.
Yeah.
I think that's our responsibility as a friend, family member, partnership, relationship, whatever.
I think you're actually looking out for the relationship
No.
because you know what you like and you know what your interests are.
Exactly.
And as men, it may be shallow, it may be just what it is, but we know
Why
what
does
inspires.
why does it have to be shallow? Because
But I'm talking about
Yeah,
politically
yeah, I know,
correct.
I know.
It
And
may
that- I
be
know.
whatever
Yeah.
they want to call it, but we know what inspires us.
yeah,
And if you're moving in a way that's against that, me letting you know helps me continue to be the person that I want to be towards you.
especially if
I want to hear your perspective on this.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
got you. But
No,
especially if in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
If I'm dedicating myself to you, I need you to be, still attractive.
Right.
The same way you
Right.
need for me to be, right? I don't want to work on that. If I'm working on me for you, work on yourself for me,
Right.
right? But people try to just chalk it down. Well, he loved me now. It ain't just that. I gotta desire you also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's got to be hand to hand.
Yeah.
'Cause I can love you all day, but if I don't desire you no more, men are weak, man. Like and we just are. So
I might.
Get the fuck out.
I might.
I've been reading this. I've been reading this book. I told y'all about The Way of the Superior Man, and it talks about polarization, like attractiveness to each other. So we may show up and say I love you, but if I'm not polarized towards you, if I'm not magnetized towards you, you're gonna feel.
I want to be fine to my girl,
and I want her to be fine to me.
Yeah.
But see that creates that
She has to want
polarization.
to.
But if she's not attracted to me, I might show up every day and do my job.
Yeah.
My job. But I'm not gonna show the love and attraction that I should be showing because of it's just natural for a man to be attracted to to be magnetized towards certain things. And it's tough in a relationship because you got ebbs and flows, ups and downs, things going on. But that's something that has to be at least a space to talk about.
Exactly. And all those ups and downs and all the shit you going through.
I'm here with you.
It's like, hey, but that motherfucker fine. You know what I mean? Come here, girl.
Boy.
I don't give a damn. You know what I mean?
That's a bar right there.
That's something to look forward to. You know what I mean? And I want to be the same for her.
Yeah.
I need to take out the trash, but look, it's over there. Come here, nigga. Like, hey.
Or look on a different level because women are so communicative. I've elevated the way.
It is.
It is.
It's real. Yeah.
Not one of your words of the day, but but look though, women are so like they're attracted to communications. So me growing my eloquency or my able to talk about different things. Look at we throwing words out there today.
It's SAT
That's more
Saturday,
attractive
guys.
too. So me continuing to grow in that space is for her as well.
No, yeah.
So her understanding that and you understanding that me, I'm a physical person. Your physicality, the way you look matters.
But yeah, and like I said, when all else fails, not fail, but in those situations, right? And you're mad about something that she may have not done or or did or whatever. At the end of the day,
She
she
walk out that shower. You like
exactly.
ooh.
But let's just say you mad at the end of the day, and you're not even attracted.
Yeah,
that shit just
that's a different place.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
That's a different place.
Just mad. You know
I'm
what
straight.
I mean?
Yeah.
So you got
Which leads to a whole nother conversation we'll have another day.
Yeah. I got
you got anything? Because I felt like you had something, and I want you to be able to put it out there, bro.
I all the way back to the beginning of this, I feel like it's still a way to talk to a person, right? I still feel like, especially if it's like whether it's family, friends, your partner in your relationship, even a stranger, it's still a way to talk to people. And I'm like, I've learned over time, like approaching people, first of all, learning their, like you were saying, like their style, right? Because some people you can come at with some rough shit and they'll understand, they get it.
Right.
We talked about the athlete. Or learning how to, like, just knowing your audience, being like, hey, babe, like, look, this is what we need to start working on. Like learning that communication style, learning how they receive things and how to give it, right? So I think sometimes we have to learn those feeder words for people too, because I think sometimes we get away from those and we so caught up in our stuff that we don't necessarily remember that it's for somebody else.
I like that feeder word.
And that's like you want to continue to feed into people, right? Because if not, then what are they running on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So learning those words that get them going, whether it's something as far as physical and dealing with whatever's going on physically, or getting them going to get up and start a business. Yeah. To get up and, you know what I'm saying, just get moving.
Yeah. Feeding into them, fueling them,
exactly.
giving them, because I mean, it's already tough enough as a human being to fuel yourself on your mission.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But for somebody to be feeding you as well is immensely powerful.
And so think about being around someone constantly who's not feeding you. Yeah. That opens the door for a lot of other things.
A lot of other things in your mind, and then a lot of other things physically.
Outside of your home.
Right.
So we have to remember that, man. And we have to also remember, like, everybody don't move the way we move. It's kind of like with the love language thing, right? Like, because we were athletes or are athletes, we can take things and like shit don't hit us the way that it hit everybody else.
Athlete, bro.
Like we sit up here and we drop F-bombs on each other and we cool with it. You hit your wife with an F-bomb the wrong time, you got to deal with a situation, like whether it's crying or her like being at your throat for the rest of the
I said
day.
we
You know
showed
what I'm saying?
that with my wife out there. You said something to me, and I was like, "Look, he said the exact same thing that you said to me,
Right.
or that I wanted to say to you, but because we communicate this way,
Exactly.
and I brought my normal communication to her, and I learned she can't handle that,
Right. Exactly.
or she doesn't respond well.
She
Let me
doesn't
say
respond well to it.
not
Right.
handle, but yeah, that's understanding who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's
powerful.
knowing your audience is
Yeah.
huge, man. Like, and we talk about that with spouses, with kids, with our coworkers, anything. I saw something this week that said, talk to your spouse the way that you talk to your boss.
Man, I saw that. I saw Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
talk to your spouse the way that you talk to your boss. Don't disrespect me, but then you be at work kissing your.
You want to know what's funny? I'm so universal, dog. Like, what you see is what you get.
I don't have that level of, like, I can honestly say, like, I'm not gonna talk to my boss a certain type of, but I honestly say I can't remember a time when I spoke to my significant other in a way that I wouldn't talk to my boss. You know what I'm saying? Outside, especially not in a disrespectful way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm universal. Like, however I'm giving it, it's how I'm giving it. No matter this situation, no matter the room, no matter who it is. Because I feel like I'm not being disrespectful to nobody. It may come off a little blunt, but that's just who I am.
See, I feel like it depends on the person. So the way you do things may be okay in both realms, but some people are very disrespectful to their boss or to their spouse. And if you take that to another place, you're gonna put yourself in a bad situation.
That's why I don't think it's disrespectful. You know.
So I think the person that says they might not think that they're being disrespectful, but I think that's why another point to add, because what you said is very valid. Like, I would love for you to be the same person.
Yeah.
But understand, like, how are you actually affecting the people? If what you're saying doesn't downtrod and destroy the people that you're dealing with, be yourself in both instances.
And that's what I'm saying.
But if I
think I'm just all the way.
And your wife understands you.
Yeah, but see, and that's your wife. Like, that necessarily saying that, like, because we was talking family earlier, right? So you can talk to your people a certain type of, and even with your spouse, actually, people change.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about that all the time. Like, people grow, and shit, it don't even got to be a full change. It could be a monthly change. It could be like, I caught enough at work, and now I'm home, and then you, like, is reading your audience and reading the room right then.
Skill.
Not just all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just I know she could take stuff like this.
Right.
But when you see, like, she ain't looking like she
today,
into it
she
that
might
day.
can't.
Yeah, she ain't into it that day, bro. Like, today ain't the day to play. You know what I'm saying? Or talk like that. So I think that's like we were talking about. Like, I think I said it a few episodes ago. That's like a class we got to take, like, or figure it out.
And I think we gotta eventually understand, like, yeah, you are who you are, but how does that affect each instance? Not even each person, each instance. Like that time when we were talking about Roger. Roger was spilling it. Like, he was being honest and transparent, and you was still joking. Right. But to me, in that moment, I was like, chill.
Exactly,
back.
right?
Yeah.
So you said read the audience. To you.
Right.
To Roger, he still was able to do it and go along with how I was.
But you don't know how he internalized it. Cause honestly, you could say something to me, like my boy said that I was fat.
Yeah.
And I kept working out. I'm cool. But in my head, I'm like, damn, bro, he just called me out. So just being in certain instances, let me tailor this just to make sure that I'm not creating some kind of negative friction for this situation. Some instances, it don't matter, bro. We here. But some instances, you be like, I'm not even gonna take a chance with this one.
Do
your thing.
That's how you take it. Is how you take it. How I give it, if it's genuine and I know it's not meant to be that way, I'm okay. So how you take it, like, and I'm telling you that, you know, it's this and it's that, and you still take it a different way, that's on you. And that's just me. I try to watch what I say, of course, but I'm gonna be me, because it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna. So my thing is, I'm always gonna give you what you give me. If you're coming cool, I'm gonna come cool, right?
I think, I'm not gonna call it bullshit, but I think you try it first. You try to set the tone, because honestly, you didn't know Brian from
can of paint.
nothing.
I should
But
have
you
jawed. I should have
came at
jawed
him
this.
quick.
I should have jawed.
But you realized that he could.
But this the thing though. I didn't give a fuck if he couldn't, right? Because him coming to the team, right? I'm me always. So I'm gonna give him what's me. I'm not coming to him fucked up because it wasn't on no aggressive shit. It was on some joking shit.
But you don't know how he's gonna take it.
Exactly. And if he takes it wrong, fuck him. Like we just ain't this.
And that's why I said you set the tone. Like I understand what you're saying, but you normally set the tone. You don't necessarily let somebody show you themselves. You be like,
nah,
this is who I am, and see how you respond
that's
to
in
it.
a joking way, right? So in a serious way, I always say I'm a reaction type of person.
Yeah.
Just like when we went to a couple episodes ago. Whatever you with, I'm with.
Yeah.
However you come with it, I'm gonna respond that way. Like I'm never coming to nobody negative. I didn't come to Byron negative. I came to him fucking with him and
You
joking.
think you weren't negative, but what you said was something negative.
What-
he was.
what did
he
I say?
understood. I think you talking about his nose.
No, I said, man, who is this big ass? Is this not a big ass? Right? Look at him. He went first. I ain't never even looked at your nose.
Nobody's ever said anything.
Exactly. Now you done triggered some shit that we didn't know he was self-conscious.
Just call me ugly, didn't it?
Exactly. So my thing, me and Byron was like, man, who the fuck is this big ass? Right? If he gets mad from that, okay. Like
Agreed.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. I didn't say nothing that was offensive. I didn't say nothing that like triggered nothing. I wasn't angry when I said it. I was joking and being myself. If you can't take that on my new team, on your new team, fuck you. And it's not like fuck you in the sense that I don't like this. It's fuck you in the sense that shit. We ain't really
I just can't fuck with it.
Yeah. We ain't gotta kick it like that.
Yeah, no, and I get what you're
but
saying.
we got people on the team like that.
I
that
definitely,
I don't.
I
fuck
definitely,
with like
I
that.
definitely think you said something about his nose. But it's
I
so,
definitely.
So I think I get what he's saying. He set the tone to even be a part of this friendship.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying on
Yeah.
that, but I also get what he's saying because it's like, bro, like you could say something that could damage a person, like because at the end of the day, man, we don't know how fragile people are.
We don't.
And so I get what you're saying because I see you want to but sometimes you can't say but because my grandfather told me everything before but shouldn't even been said.
Shouldn't have been said,
Right.
yeah.
So
Also,
however, like, but nah, like I think we have to especially now,
yeah.
because people are fragile and we don't even know it,
They
right?
are. They are. And I do respect that.
And we ain't cut from the same cut. Like we, you know what I'm saying? We can say it 100 different ways, but people are dealing with things differently,
Right.
At the end of the day,
Just like in
right?
coaching, we athletes, you have to deal with different players a different way.
Exactly. Like
I get that.
Like we actually play flag football for a guy who decides to curse a lot.
a lot.
Right?
And some of us take offense to it.
Yeah.
Some of us just don't.
because
But
it,
sometimes
because
he come
because I feel like
heavy on
yeah,
some
because I feel like there's a certain way you still talk to men.
To men,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
facts.
Because there's a difference in
You
when
agree.
we're in a
I do agree.
like in a college football culture. That's one thing because I'm building you to be this man, right?
Yeah.
But now we're men. We pay mortgages, rent.
We pay to be here.
We pay
You
to
gotta
be
understand
here.
the situation.
Understanding your room, right? And like knowing when you can and can't do these things, right? So I think that's a tough part.
And also knowing who that person is.
Yeah,
Right.
knowing your audience,
It's crazy
knowing your
how
audience.
all of these things are playing together, but you have to be aware of all of these things.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the tough part of being a manager of people. You know what I'm saying?
This is still body shaming.
Yeah, and I was about to bring it back in. Because at the end of the
Man, we
day,
just riding today.
you still got to know because it's audience at the end of the day, man, and knowing how to talk to people, when to even address certain things,
Right.
Because sometimes it just ain't the time.
Yeah.
Like, and people can tell you that, but you again, it's reading the room. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if I see you don't look like you in that space, I'm not about to be like, man, that stomach getting big, ain't it, my boy? And they can be like,
In the middle of the office.
Right.
And like you said, with the Byron situation, I had already, you know what I mean?
You read
like,
him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
kept his vibe and whatever.
I did. I just turned left, and you was like, "Damn, you big."
Yeah,
I was like,
and he could
you
have
don't even know
responded
that guy,
differently.
bro.
You know what I mean? I would have knocked his ass out. But you know, hey.
Hey, he
boy,
drunk.
comedian,
He
man.
drunk. He drunk.
Drunk comedian.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line